All right, well, what do we have here? Look at this. Look at this strange looking bird. It's guitar number 206, the 206th guitar that I made, and it's 14/11/19, 14th day, 11th month. The year is 2019. That was the date that it was completed, and this is the next phase in the imagined Stratocaster, Fender Stratocaster prototype of what it may have been, could have been, should have been. And here you go. So starting off, it's a one-piece mahogany. Very nice. One piece. You don't find one-piece bodies very often. One-piece mahogany. Again, you've got the Telecaster sharp edges on it. Like the prototype Stratocasters may have been, with the sharp edges. Then what you got, this is actually Gibson inspired, because there's a few little Gibson details about it. For instance, as you could see, the cherry red translucent finish, which I absolutely love. I love the color, I love the feel of it, and it's something that only Gibson used. I heard that there was like extremely rare, just a few Fender pre-CBS Fenders that were actually painted with cherry red. Something like this, but they're extremely rare. I don't know why they were done, who owns them or whatever, but anyway, so this is Gibson inspired. And the other Gibson inspired feature about this is the scale. The scale is vintage Gibson scale length, which I use quite a bit, and it is 624 millimeters, which is shorter than, as Gibson falsely claims, 24 3/4. What Gibson claims is 24 3/4 encompasses many different scale lengths in that area of measurement. So this is 624. This is what the 50s Gibsons were, 624 millimeters. And anyway, I've got my trademark half strat pickguard, and it's kind of modified with a nice little shaping around here. And of course, this is a Stratocaster shape, but it's cut away here and it's cut away here. It's always going to have 24 frets. I need this. I'm really proud of this lower horn, because it gives you great fret access all the way to the 24th fret. All these hot players, these monster players, are playing on 21, 22 fret guitars. Hello, time to wake up, people. Why would you do that? Like, it's something I don't understand. Well, I don't understand a lot of things about guitar players, or more specifically, guitar consumer. I got a real problem, a real serious problem with guitar consumers. So, pickups wound by me, all three of them. They're pretty cool. They're as good as you're going to find anywhere in the world. Of course, why would I want to ever do anything where I'm not going to be the best in the world? It's weird. Weird why anybody would want to do that. do something and not want to be the best in the world at it. Huh. I could never relate to that one either. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best necessarily, but you're gonna fucking try. You're gonna die trying. Right? We're not here. I'm not here for the ride. I'm not here to enjoy the scenery. I'm here for the accomplishment. So that's your little psychological tip, motivational tip for the day, free of charge, from Alex. So, yeah, the pickguard, I was creative with this, and I came up with this. I drew this up. And that way I don't have to mount my pickups to the pickguard. See, it's independent of the pickups. And so getting to the pickups, these are the first Fender style pickups that I made, which are potted in wax. You gotta pot them in wax. Which I realized because I believe it's because the coil is wrapped directly on the magnets. These are actually magnets here. For those who get your guitar education from YouTube guitar channels, you don't know these things. So I don't know what the hell you're doing on this channel, but you may actually learn something here. What do you think of that? That doesn't sound good, right? No, we're not here to learn. We're here to get cheap entertainment and watch a beta male talk about his guitar purchases, which he's going to flip on eBay next week. That's what we're here for, right? That's what you're here for. But you're not going to get that here. That's the wrong channel for that. So, something interesting about these pickups, I decided to go with 43 gauge wire on all three of them. They all are a match. They all are a set. So they're matched in terms of volume output. Okay, you got to have a different power rating, volume, which yields to, which results in a volume output for each pickup, depending on which position it is placed. And again, 43 gauge wire, and traditional Fender is always 42. Okay, so this is 43. This is thinner wire. There's more wire on there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're more powerful. I think that these are just slightly more powerful than your traditional Strat vintage style pickups. Okay, even though they are wound with thinner wire. And of course, the magnets, pull pieces that I do are always going to be beveled on top, and they're always going to be staggered. Okay, if you don't stagger your pull pieces, your magnets, you're not going to have equal volume. You're not going to have a balanced volume from each string. If Joe Bonamassa was watching this video, he would learn something new right now. But most likely he's busy. He's busy buying another Sunburst Les Paul from the 50s. So always beveled. Now the reason to bevel them is usually they're extremely sharp, and as you can see in the demo of this video, I kind of hurt myself. And I hurt myself even though these are beveled, these magnets. So can you imagine if these were totally sharp at the very top there, totally sharp, and I was playing like crazy, and I would hit it with my with the flesh of my fingers, and I would totally bleed. And even with these, I hurt myself. I don't know how, but I did. It happens sometimes. That's the only way to play, by the way. So you've got your tremendous tremolo setup. You've got your again, it's oh, these are dual size frets. Thicker, wider frets up here, and then thinner frets up here, so you got a more room up here to finger your notes. And then of course locking vintage tuners, which is a must for this. Again, this is a vintage setup. It's a vintage feeling guitar. It's the best vintage guitar that has never existed. That's the goal, right? These are rosewood dots, by the way. Again, maple fingerboard, maple neck. As you can see in the playing demonstration, see there's still blood on there. As you can see in the video demonstration, I'm literally not able to put this thing out of tune. The only way it's going to go out of tune is if you put on a new string and it's still fairly new, it hasn't stretched enough, or you didn't stretch it very much after putting it on, then it's gonna go. It's you know, you're at the mercy of the string. But this guitar, the way it's designed with all the components working together, okay, it's an amazing design. As you even if you don't want to admit it, you know it. Just one volume for, you know, one master volume for everything, no tone. Now, what is that a tone control? Well, no, it's not. Now, what else is really cool about this guitar? Very unique, very interesting. See, the magnets grab the strings as it goes slack. Look at that. And then, of course, it's totally floating, right? Watch the bridge. See, kids? Can you say amazing? Let's play a Mr. Rogers here, like the guitar channels that you guys are used to. I don't want to deviate too much because it may scare you. I'm really trying to be normal, you know, but it's hard for me. I'm really trying to be conventional so that you get exactly what you expect, but I just can't do it. I no matter how hard I try, I just can't be like other people. I don't know why. So, oh yeah, I wanted to mention something. The pots that I use are really high quality, and they come from Japan. They were sent to me from Japan, okay? So none of this fucking bullshit about putting CTS pots or whatever the hell it is that they're feeding you, the bullshit they're feeding you, because the you know, all those pots, they're very stiff. They're like on a Gibson, you know, they're not meant to be turned while you play, where these things are extremely low friction. And then I make them even more low friction, okay? So as you're playing, you know, you control your gain of the guitar, distortion of your amp just by this, or you can do volume swells. All right, so very high quality. And oh, very important, I keep, well, those that don't watch these videos are never going to know, and they're going to be stupid forever. But those few of you, you know, most of you are not guitar players. You're mainly tinkerers. So I'm not reaching the guitar. I wish I could reach the guitar players, but I don't have a toddler guitar channel, so they're not going to come here. And if they do come here, they're going to run away. Because of the threat of maybe learning something, going to a next level, finding out how stupid and idiots they are. So this is not a safe space, safe place whatever for the guitar consumer. This is not a safe channel for a guitar consumer. So it's not going to be tolerated without psychological therapy and medication for them. But as I was saying, something really cool about this one as well, just like the previous one, is this is a switch. Isn't that cool? Now, talk about details. Look at the knob I chose. Okay, now Tinkerer wouldn't do this. Tinkerer would not think about these ethical details based on history and knowledge. Okay, this also had to be a Fender knob, even though it's periodically not correct, because the Strat came out in '54 and these knobs didn't show up until what, probably 1960. But it doesn't matter, the color matches the plastic parts, right? And it's a well, it came out with the brown face amps, these knobs. But what I like is they grab easily. They're knurled, sharp knurls. And watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-way. You get all the sounds you need on a Strat. Okay, so you've got bridge, middle and bridge, middle, neck and middle, neck, and what you don't get on any conventional Stratocaster is bridge and neck together. Okay, you'll hear that in the tonal demonstration, in the guitar demonstration. So of course, had to be relicked. It's a very organic instrument. This is what I mean. This is not the plastic piece of shit fucking toaster that you guys own right now, you poor SOBs. Again, 2 custom springs. Again, tremolo block modified for extreme tremolo use. But none of you guys are extreme dudes, so it's useless to you. So it's of no use. This is of no use to most of you anyway. Absolutely no use. And again, my special neck setup, spike neck joint. Now the interesting thing, evolution in this guitar. Again, this is guitar 206th guitar that I made in my life. And the cool thing, so they always evolve, and so I went to real nitrocellulose, not the fake deception lies that you get from your wonderful current companies called Fender or Gibson, which they have no connection to the original companies whatsoever. That's like me buying your name and calling myself Bob Smith. And I become Bob's. Do I become you? No, I don't think so. So it's all cringe, man. It's all cringe. I have to live in a world of cringe. Please understand my situation. I live in a world of cringe. It's very difficult and agonizing to live this way. So here we got, oh yeah, what I was talking about. I always get distracted with different thoughts, usually thoughts of cringe. I also sprayed the neck with nitrocellulose lacquer, so you see the aging in that neck. Look at the hue, look at the color of that neck. And then every metal part is aged. Okay, and look at that. Look at that. The headstock has been banged up over the years, even though this thing is only a few months old. It's brand new. Did I forget anything? Did I forget anything? Anyway, all the details are up on the website. I forget some of the details, and I'm not going to look it up while I'm doing the video. I was going to give you the weight of this thing, but I forget what it is. It's quite lightweight. And what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's, oh yeah, it's got the Telecaster jack plate, of course. And it's just really fucking cool, man. And it's something you can't buy anywhere else. No. 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 Everything else is fucking cringe. Just like the people that play them. So, you know, one thing I'm going to mention. You know, a smart guy on my channel. At least he comments. Most of you guys are fucking quiet. Wonder why that is. Why are you so quiet? It's okay. You can comment. You know, if you make a stupid comment, don't make a stupid comment. But anyway, he was mentioning that he doesn't necessarily like a wide neck. And why do I build guitars with a wide neck? And I didn't mention that I do not any longer unless it is specified by the person who's going to be buying the guitar, who orders a guitar. I used to make guitars with 45.5, I believe, somewhere around 1 3/4 or beyond a little bit beyond 1 3/4 inches at the nut, this way, okay, this way. I think it was 44.5 millimeters, a little bit over 1 3/4. And my idea was that I don't want to be cramped up here. But then, you know, by accident, I was playing some Gibsons that I didn't think I could play, and I did pretty good on it, you know. And I said, okay, so. It's been about a couple of years now that every one of the latest guitars is, okay, don't forget this, 43.5 millimeters. Now, what is 43.5 millimeters? Well, what is a 1/2 millimeter? How wide is that? You know, I'll let you do your homework, and you're gonna research that and find it out. You know, find out a little ruler and find out. But 43 is the width of your conventional Gibson neck at the nut. And this is only a 1/2 millimeter wider. Only a 1/2 millimeter wider than a Gibson. So there you go. There you go. I will build my previous wide necks at the nut if somebody requires it. Now, if you're a big guy, you got big hands, whatever, you don't want to play a narrow neck up here. I understand that. You don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be cramped. You don't want to play a guitar with a short scale either. Now, come on. Come on. And it's stupid to say that nobody wanted wide neck guitars, because who are we dealing with here? We're dealing with guitar consumers. They don't fucking know anything. They don't even know to specify anything. All right, you got to know enough about guitars, and you got to know enough about what works and the differences in different specifications to be able to specify anything. When it comes to a guitar consumer, they fucking just get whatever is pushed down their throats or up their ass. Okay? We're not dealing with very bright people here. Okay? The bright people are not gravitating towards guitars. They never have. I don't know why. Unfortunately. A small number are. Okay? But, yeah, so 43.5 millimeters, which is just a little bit beyond 1 11/16 of the Gibson. Now, why is it 43.5 and not 43? Well, to give me 1/2 millimeter for final sanding, rounding off the you know, the edge of the neck or whatever. Okay, just a little bit. Now, if you go less than 43, it's awful. It feels awful to me. I can't play it. Like, for instance, most Fenders are, I believe, 42 millimeters, which is too small. Too small. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix would have done a lot better giving them another millimeter and a half, or 2 millimeters right here. They would have done better. I guarantee you. Okay, that is just way too tiny. That's for like little girls to play, right? Gibson, the Gibson neck size, neck width at the nut is the minimum that you can go, which is 1 11/16, very close to 43 millimeters, and this is 43 and a half. So if you can handle another 0.5 millimeter, or maybe not even that with final sanding, you're gonna do perfectly fine. So that's it. That's it. That's it. There you go. A guitar you can't put out of tune. Shit. And most of the guitar world doesn't even know about that. Isn't that something? That speaks volumes. That's a real statement on the competence and the intelligence of guitar players and the guitar consumer. My favorite people in the whole entire world. Thank you for listening. bucks the hum in this position. Optimum gauges strings help also. Bridge and middle together. Come back, Jimmy. Come back, Jimmy. I got a guitar for you. You can really be yourself with this guitar. Come back, Jimmy. Come back, Jimmy. And do Woodstock all over again. Machine gun. Machine gun. Oh shit, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Blood. There's blood on the guitar. It's blood. You gotta play with blood, sweat, and tears. You're not really doing it. Unless you do that. Unless you do that, you're not really doing it. See? Blood. I bleed for you. Hey everybody, the amp that was used for this is a Tweed Harvard clone. It was a brand new amp about 10 or 12 years ago when I bought it. Somebody built it, and it's a clone of a mid-50s Fender Harvard. I stuck in a negative feedback switch, and I stuck in, wow, what an awesome speaker, Celestion Gold. Now, this is not your regular Celestion that would go in a Marshall. This is an Alnico speaker. So it's very much like the 50s speakers that should go in here. So there you go. There you go. Tweet, Fender, Harvard, Cologne.